Good afternoon, everyone. This is Lindsay Tolles reporting for KHTS Radio here on Railroad Avenue and Pine Street here in Newhall, where a vehicle has just been struck by the Metrolink train here in Newhall. As you can see in front of me, I've got this black vehicle that has pushed through the fence here by the railroad tracks and has been hit by that train. Just before I started this live and as soon as I came on scene, they did transport one person, looked like an older man, that was taken on inside this ambulance, which is just going to be heading out right now to take that person to the hospital. So we do have one person injured. So one person was in this vehicle here. Now this happened about 10 minutes ago here on Railroad Avenue, and I'm kind of by Pine Street and Market Street here. Now the Metrolink train did hit this vehicle, and this vehicle has come out from this fencing here kind of towards the street on on Pine Street and 3rd Street here. I'm getting word that they are shutting down the tracks both ways on this Metrolink here, so this train is not going anywhere anytime soon. Both sides of this track have been closed as of right now, so you're probably going to get a little bit of delay on that metro because of this accident here. We do have one person who was transported here on scene. I can confirm that, as I saw that when I was rolling up on scene here. It did look kind of like an older man. Only one patient was in this vehicle. It didn't seem like he was trapped in his car or anything, and first responders were able to get him out safely and put him into that ambulance and has now transported him to the hospital here. Now this is again on Railroad Avenue. I'm on Pine Street between Pine and 3rd Street here in Newhall. This is the street where this vehicle is kind of in this little dirt embankment here. Obviously it cut all the way through this fencing here. We've got airbags deployed here, a lot of extensive damage to this vehicle here. And if I pan to the right of me, you can see the metro right here, which has been completely stalled. I can even see passengers inside of that metro, so they're going to be waiting a long time, as well as I've gotten word that the metro has been shut down going both ways here for an unknown amount of time. But it's going to take a little while for some more first responders to get on scene. Yes, yeah. So again, this is a pretty extensive damage you can see here from this black vehicle here. If I try and this is as pretty close as I can get, because obviously if you can see, they're obviously trying to keep people away from this scene here. They're going to have to do an investigation here, just trying to keep the public safe around this scene, because when we do have a vehicle versus a train or anything involving a train, it does become a pretty big issue, just because it involves a train and it's a large vehicle going at a high rate of speed here. So not sure on what the condition of that one patient is as of right now. When I saw him being loaded into the ambulance, I did see that he was conscious. But I know that he is headed to the hospital as of right now, and hopefully we'll get that information more confirmed later on, and maybe even some information on how he's doing a bit later on. But this is, I think, the second time we've had an incident like this, a similar one, involving a vehicle and the metro train. Something like this happened this weekend as well, where there was a vehicle that was actually left on the railroad tracks here around on Railroad Avenue, and I don't believe that vehicle was hit by the metro train, but it was left on the tracks there. So that happened a little bit earlier, I believe on Sunday this weekend. So we have been seeing a lot of incidences involving the Metrolink, especially here in Newhall, especially as it's coming into that Newhall Metrolink station on Railroad. We've been seeing a lot of incidents here. So again, this is on Railroad. I'm on Pine Street and 3rd Street here. I would definitely avoid the area, especially if you're coming down on Pine Street, because it's being blocked right now by a lot of first responders. They don't really want people in this area here as they're trying to protect the investigation that's going on here. But Railroad does seem open, so you're not going to have a lot of trouble navigating that traffic on Railroad. But in this neighborhood on Pine Street, I would avoid this street and try to take some of the different roads here. As you can see, this isn't a neighborhood, so we've got some neighbors, some community members out here looking at the scene because there's a lot of action happening right now. So again, this was just one person has been reported to have been in this vehicle. That person has been transported to the hospital. When I first came on scene, maybe about 15 minutes ago, I did see that person being loaded into an ambulance, and they left with lights and sirens on. So that person has been taken to the hospital. When I came, that person was conscious as far as I could tell, but unsure on what the extent of his injuries were. But as you can see, this was the car that he was in. Not sure if he was in the driver's or the passengers or just kind of how this incident came to be, but as you can see, the car in front of me has a lot of damage to it. The windshield is completely wrecked, ripped up. We've got those airbags deployed on every single side there. Obviously it slammed through this gate here and is on this embankment. And to the right of me is that stalled metro train, and with full of passengers as well. You can see, I mean, it's about that time of day where we have people coming back from work. It's a Monday, so we've got people taking that public transport, taking that Metrolink train. So we do have, I would imagine, a pretty full Metrolink train that is involved in this incident, and has likely and this Metrolink has been reported to have been shut down from both sides, as they're probably going to try and find out what happened, continue their investigation here. So I can't say for sure how long the metro will be delayed for, but AV Metrolink system does have a Twitter account that I would recommend keeping up to date with if this affects you in any way, the Metrolink schedule. I would recommend going to their site, their Twitter site, for updates, because they will be likely posting those updates, and of course we'll also be trying to get those updates as they come as well. You know, the state of the Metrolink, how long it might be delayed, as well as any other information related to this incident. So it looks like that deputy to the left of me there is going to start setting up crime scene tape here. So he's starting to attach it to that mailbox there. So they're going to try and block off this area, it seems. Because again, they're not letting a lot of people through here besides, you know, first responders and press. So obviously they're going to do a lengthy investigation here, try and figure out what resulted in this accident here. But again, I am on Railroad Avenue and Pine Street here, where this car has obviously come through this metal fence here after being hit by this Metrolink train that is to the right of me. I'm getting word that this is a Honda Accord vehicle, black Honda Accord here in front of me that has a lot of extensive damage that you can see. A lot of it to the sides and to the front as well. So I can't really tell from the damage here where, how or what direction this vehicle might have been facing when being hit by that Metrolink, because it's just got damage all around here. So it's really hard to see, you know, where that train might have actually hit it or what might have happened to cause it from being hit by the train and then cutting through this fence here almost onto Pine Street here. But again, we'll be updating this story, you know, keeping tabs on what officials are saying about this today, and I suspect in the following days as they kind of go through their investigation, and we'll be updating our website and the story that goes with it here, along with some photos that I managed to take before starting this live here. But if I pan to my right here, you can see that stalled Metrolink train all the way down there, down on Pine Street. You can see we've got a sheriff deputy vehicle here on Pine Street. And then if I pan back, we've got a fire engine, and I can see in the distance we've got some crime scene tape being set up across Pine Street right there. So it looks like if you're looking to go onto Pine Street into this neighborhood, you're not going to be able to get through because they're setting up that crime scene tape, because this scene has obviously extended into Pine Street, so onto the railroad tracks. So it's a pretty spread out investigation that they're going to have to start doing here. So obviously, if you didn't hear that, sheriff deputies trying to keep residents clear from this scene, not really letting a whole lot of people come onto the scene just because of their investigation here, trying to keep it safe and clear from the public. But we will be updating this as more confirmed information comes on our website on hometownstation.com. Hopefully we can get more information on who was in this vehicle and the state of them. Again, I was on scene when that person was being loaded into that ambulance, and I did see that he was conscious. I wasn't close enough to see any sort of bodily injuries, but as far as I could see, he was conscious and he has been taken to the hospital as of now, so hopefully we'll hear about his condition later on and we can update that for you guys. But if I pan over here, you can see we've got some officials over here walking along that Metrolink track here, just kind of surveying, trying to see what they find here on this stalled train. Again, this is about the time of day when people are heading back from work, heading back home. You know, it's Monday, so I'm sure that this Metrolink is pretty full here with passengers either on their way home or something like that. So, you know, we've got a pretty significant effect on the public transport system here, as this train is going to be delayed, possibly causing some other Metrolink trains to be delayed as well. So I do know that we've got both sides of the track here shut down for an unknown amount of time here. But we will be providing updates as they come on that, you know, if the when and if the Metrolink line opens, stuff like that. But again, this is going to be a pretty protected scene, as you can see. We've got crime scene tape being set up over here. Not a lot of people being allowed in this area because they're trying to protect this scene here. Alright, I am seeing another ambulance having pulled up here to this scene. Not sure on what's going on right now. Hopefully we'll get some more confirmed information. And I mean, you're watching this as I'm watching it as well, so we'll see what's going on here. There might possibly be some other person hurt, I'm not sure. But But again, this accident happened about 30 minutes ago now, I believe. And I did see one person being transported from that vehicle. Okay, I'm just now getting a confirmation that they are working on transporting a second patient from the car. So believe it or not, this entire time that I've been broadcasting, there has been another patient in this vehicle here. I could not tell from where I'm standing because of the way that the car is right now. Obviously, I don't think you guys can see it either, which, you know, is kind of good because we want to protect the identity of these people as of right now. But those airbags are deployed. Can't really see that there was actually another person in this vehicle here. So they are actually confirmed working on taking another person out from that car here. So confirmed there were two people in this vehicle here who are going to be transported to the hospital. I did get confirmation that nobody on the train has been injured, which is pretty typical of some of train incidents like this, and it's good to see. But we do have two people from this car being hospitalized as of right now, which I apologize for my broadcasting before, because I was not aware that there was another patient in this vehicle. I couldn't see them from this angle, and I came on scene just as they were transporting that one person earlier on, that one male who did seem conscious as soon as I pulled up, and they took that person right away. So it seems like they were waiting for the other ambulance to get on scene. So it looks like it's going to be a pretty careful extraction here. Seems like they're going to try and go about this the best way that they can here. And while they are working on that, if I pan to my right here, it seems like they are working on possibly taking some passengers out of this car here. We've got a couple of passengers coming out of this train here, so I'm not sure if they're going to start unloading passengers or not. They might be, but it looks like they just unloaded one person here. Possibly that person looks like they might be having some sort of medical emergency, I'm not sure, from inside the train. Alright, so it does look like they are possibly going to transport this person. I did see him come from the train, so it looks like he might have been having some sort of issues from inside the actual Metrolink and needed some medical attention here. So, as I've been broadcasting, you guys have seen, I've seen one person being transported from inside this vehicle, and that person was transported right away as soon as I got here, before I even started broadcasting. It was one male inside this vehicle here, and it looks like they might be working on transporting a second person, though I believe that this person was actually inside this train here in this last cart. So I don't believe that this person was actually inside this vehicle and it's actually just experiencing some sort of either unrelated medical injury or something else. Not sure. Maybe he was injured when the train hit. But you know, I'm getting all this information as I'm standing here, so I'm not in the station, I'm not listening to the scanners as of right now. So I can't be sure of what exactly is going on. I'm just going off of what I see right now. but the train tracks have been closed between Sylmar and Newhall on the Antelope Valley line here. And travel has been delayed for an unknown amount of time. Obviously a pretty serious situation here whenever we've got an incident involving the Metrolink. We're gonna see some sort of delay in the Metrolink schedule for sure, affecting the entire line from Sylmar to Newhall here. Alright, so I'm just trying to get all my facts straight here for you guys, but it seems like, I'll run through it one more time, that that there was one person in this vehicle here that got hit by the train on Railroad Avenue and Pine Street here. One person was in this vehicle when it got hit, and that person was transported to the hospital. Their condition is unknown as of right now, but when I did pull up, I did see that person being transported, and he did seem conscious, and I could not see from where I was standing any sort of bodily injuries, nothing incredibly gory like that. So, you know, hopefully we'll get some more confirmation on what his condition is, and it looks like another person is being transported to the hospital right now. You guys saw that on live if you were watching, and it looks like that person was actually taken from this back cart of the Metrolink, train here. So this person, the second person, was not in this vehicle, but is experiencing some sort of possibly a medical emergency, possibly some sort of injury, and that person was taken from the Metrolink train into that ambulance here. So kind of obviously we've got a spread out series of events here on Pine Street. We've got, you know, this person who was injured in the train, this person who needed some medical attention in this in the train here, and we've got this whole section of Pine Street being blocked off. So again, if you're looking for your traffic report, you're not going to be able to go either way on Pine Street here because it's being blocked off by officials right now. But I do believe Railroad is open, so I would take that as well if you're trying to get into a different situation here. And if I pan upwards, we do have a helicopter circling above. That helicopter wasn't there a couple minutes ago. I can't say for sure if that helicopter is news related or if it's official related, but I believe it might be news related just because of the colors here on that helicopter. So, you know, if you do see a helicopter in the area, this incident is most likely what it's for here. So again, hopefully we'll be getting some more updates as they come, you know, especially on that condition of those two people who have been transported, especially that one person who's actually in this car. We definitely want to know how he's doing. Hopefully he ends up being okay. And of course that one person who was in this Metrolink car, you know, maybe we'll get some information on what this person's health emergency possibly was. But we're going to get some more information and update for you guys at hometownstation.com. You know, be checking our story. We'll be updating it as updates come. Be checking our social medias. I'll be uploading some photos. We'll be updating the article as well of new information that comes through. So I'm sure that this investigation is going to be ongoing for a couple of days, and hopefully we'll get some more information about how this accident actually unfolded later on as well. So it looks like most of the action is being drawn to a close here. We've got, again, 2 people who have been taken to the hospital, and now we've just got this vehicle. Obviously a lot of extensive damage here through this fence and then this stalled Metrolink train as well. So that is all the information that I have for you guys as of right now. Thank you for tuning in and bearing with me as I try and figure out exactly what's going on here. We're gonna be having updates on our stories and on our social medias as they come, of course. Try and get all the confirmed information that we can as well. So this is where I will leave you guys. Be checking our hometownstation.com and our socials as well for any updated information that comes out of this. But thank you guys for watching and bearing with me through this live report. And this has been Lindsay Tolles for KHTS Radio.